on side-scrolling superheroes, I'm taking a look at Justice League Injustice for All, which is based on the old animated Justice League TV show, which is fantastic. And it's so cool that Midway, actually, the publisher of this game, got to play with DC's greatest superheroes. And it's a nice collection of heroes that you get in this game. You get to play as Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern, and the Jon Stewart Green Lantern. They've done a pretty decent job at emulating some of the powers and some of the gadgets and some of the things that you would expect with these characters. And I didn't mind the animations that we get of these different characters. It certainly looks a little slight. It's not the most detailed and hyper-realized and beautiful animation systems that we've seen on the Game Boy Advance, but not too bad. It's cool to see Superman flying around. It's cool to see the heat vision coming out of his eyes. It's cool to see Wonder Woman's lasso or Batman's batarangs. And they have an interesting kind of setup with the mission structure here as well. It starts with the JLA Watchtower, and then the heroes pair up and get to go on different missions into different areas around the world. So you get to go to Gotham City, you get to go to Metropolis, you get to go to Themyscira, I think I'm saying that right. You go to Thailand for a mission, you're inside of caves and enemy installations and dealing with the jungle and dealing with kind of alien infrastructure as well. The setup for this game is actually pretty decent, and the missions that you go on are fairly quick to complete, so it's pretty cool that you get a kind of taste of all of these different heroes and all of this variety in the enemy types, because you're fighting against alien creations and mud people and characters that look like different statues or something that have come to life. And of course you've got a whole host of bosses and bad guys there. Solomon Grundy's in this game, Cheetah's in this game, the Joker is in this game, Lex Luthor is the big bad that has assembled all of these different baddies, and you get to see quite a lot of Justice League infused content in this game. Now I gotta say, I didn't like the way that the levels were crafted for this game. They feel very opaque, and it feels like you stumble and bumble your way until you finally end up in the boss area and you defeat the boss and you complete the mission. None of that is incredibly challenging. It just feels like they tapped into a little bit of a loose Metroidvania kind of structure for most of the levels, and there is no map and there's no real sense of direction. There's no arrows that pop up, so you find yourself like going to the side of a screen, seeing some kind of door that you have to unlock somehow. Maybe you've got to defeat some kind of energy source that is powering up a force field, and then you can pass through that door, and then you'll see a door that you press up on the D-pad and you can go into the door, and that'll pop you out on some other space where you might be dropping for levels until you get down to a bottom. It took me a while to actually beat a level because I didn't recognize that one of the things stitched into the background was actually a teleporter, and I kept walking past it and going back to the end of the level and seeing like there was no escape out of this space, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? I actually had to go to the internet and read through a walkthrough before I realized that that was a teleporter that bounced me out to a different area, and I defeated the level quickly after that. So there is some frustration there. There's also an incredible amount of frustration with the flying mechanics. There is this one level where you're playing as Hawkgirl or Superman, and you've got to defeat a whole bunch of satellite debris that's crashing to Earth, and you're trying to bash it or zap it with Superman's laser eyes. Things are going along okay until you kind of realize that there's like invisible ceiling on where you can fly to, and sometimes the objects that you're trying to destroy are just sort of out of reach. It was insufferable. It was just so not fun to play. And there are pretty major collision detection issues all the way through this game. So some of the jumps are very sloppy and slippery, and some of the combat mechanics suffer from that as well. So the end result is that even though there is a tremendous amount of love for the property in this game, and there's some value in exploring it and discovering it, there is also a lot of slippery, unpolished, unfinished design work in here as well. It sort of undermines all of the creativity and honestly the incredible, awesome potential, because this is an amazing collection of superheroes and you just want to love this game. It takes steps in that direction. So it's another one of these classic side-scrolling superhero titles where it's like, oh my god, I wish people could go back and just finish this. Give this another 6 months and just tune it all. And it would be pretty amazing, because you can fly as Martian Manhunter or Green Lantern or Wonder Woman. It's cool that Green Lantern has the ability to create a manifestation out of his ring of a giant hammer and bash things. You want more out of each of the characters. You want more powers, and you want there to be a better connection to their ability represented on screen, a little bit more of a flashy animation. There's a lot of content here. But it's another one of these games where I completed it. I'm glad that I did. I was happy to revisit this thing and see all of the cool stuff in there. But I'm never going to play this again. I'm not getting rid of the cartridge. I'm going to hang on to it. But I'm done with Justice League Injustice for All. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.